it's the Asian culture again. I'm like, oh, I forgot, like people are actually studying. Like, I mean, 3 or 2 of the rooms are open 24/7 during exam period. People were there at like 1 a.m. until 5 a.m. or something.
You needed
like,
a break from all the hustle.
it's like healing from all the burnt out that I faced throughout all the studying period. And what I noticed is that how people are really supporting each other, like openly. Just keep trying and like know that there are actually always different ways to do things. How it all started is that I was rejected from the scholarship, you know?
Hello people and welcome to another episode of Dive Through. We are here with a special guest. You're here. So, who are you and why are you here?
So, hi everyone. My name is Livia. Thank you for having me here.
So, what are you doing here? We are here in front of my campus actually in Korea University.
Yeah, and I'm very impressed. It looks so pretty. It's like with big castle and everything. So, I'm impressed.
So what are you doing here, Livia, in Seoul?
Yeah, so I'm in Korea right now for my exchange semester. I'm in the end of my first semester and I'm trying to extend for 1 more semester.
So if this is your exchange semester, where is your home campus?
Yeah, so I'm actually studying in Germany. Yes, I'm studying in Germany in a small town called Deggendorf. It's near Munich. Munich? Yeah, near there. Yeah, that's my home university.
So if you see this other short form video, that one's for work.
Yes.
But I'm like, after we were brainstorming ideas for that video, we went to a cafe, we talked, and I'm like, oh, we clicked.
A lot.
And I was like, oh, how is it so similar between us? And I thought it would be really interesting for her to share her story with you guys because it inspired me. And I think it can inspire you guys as well. What was the most fascinating for me is the fact that you self-funded most of your studies and you get to go to Germany and Korea.
Yeah.
So that's the story that I want to share. Yeah, and another thing is, you're also Indonesian.
Yes.
Orang Indo juga nih guys.
Hi guys, orang Indo nih. Orang Indo.
So where's your hometown? Like, I want to go back to the very beginning.
To the very beginning. Okay.
When you were born.
Okay. So,
not that far.
Yeah, not that far. Yeah, I grew up in Bandung. Yeah, anak Bandung. But my dad Batak, my mom Jawa Bengkulu. Jadi Batak, Jawa Bengkulu, tapi lahir dan besar di Bandung.
Where did you go to school?
Okay, so everything like started in Indonesia, obviously. So kindergarten, primary school until middle school. So until 9th grade, I was in Indonesia, and then I moved to Singapore for like middle school and high school.
How did that happen?
My middle school in Indonesia, they had a partnership with a school from Singapore. So like every year they come to give like scholarship test, and I took it, and thank God I made it. So they offered me a scholarship, and then I was able to continue in Singapore for like 4 years. It was 2 years of secondary school and 2 years of junior college, which is like equivalent of high school.
So you got a scholarship in Singapore.
So I got a scholarship to study in Singapore for 4 years. Yeah.
So how was that period? Like, was it difficult? Because I think as a scholarship holder, you have to maintain like a certain grade for you to not like get deported or something.
Yeah. Actually, yeah, it was difficult, and I think I came to Singapore without really expecting that it would be that hard because I was also very young. I was like 14, I think.
Yeah, that's super young.
Yeah, and it didn't really click to me what is this moving abroad, like living alone, and also like under a scholarship, which is like they had like expectation and grades and everything. And I'm a very laid back student. Like I don't really like, oh, I have to study, I have to get like A's, blah blah blah. So coming to Singapore, it really like shocked me with the environment because sometimes it can be a bit toxic because everyone was very competitive. And I came in a 3rd year, which is kind of like an awkward timing. It's like in the middle of everything. Yeah, so I'm like this new kid. What I didn't expect was that there was some like, I don't know, like hostility from the Singapore students themselves when all the international students come. Because when we came, they're already marked as like scholars. Some Singapore students, they were a bit like, oh, you're taking our place here, you know? So they were a bit mean to us sometimes. A lot of them are also nice, but that's what I did not expect at all. Because for me, it's just like, oh, moving school, you know? It's just school in general,
So the competitiveness level is really high.
Yeah. It's really high,
So
like among scholars or even among Singaporeans.
So after the 4 years in Singapore, did you have any university plans?
So initially, because I was already in Singapore, I planned to just continue studying there. So I did apply to universities in Singapore. And like, thank God I made it there. Like I got in, but I couldn't get another scholarship.
Where did you get in?
Thank God I got into like NUS, NTU, and SMU. But also disclaimer, it's easier for us because I got through like Singapore high school, you know. I think for people abroad it's really difficult. For us, it's not. I'm not saying that it's not difficult, but it's not that fancy or glamorous as people thought of it.
I didn't get it.
Yeah, but yeah, because it's from like Indonesian
Yeah.
track. But anyways, yeah, because I didn't get the scholarship, and it was really, really expensive, and I couldn't afford it, so I just went back home to Indonesia to think of like what's my next plan. And that was also like during COVID time.
Oh, what year was this? 2020?
2020. Yeah, so I finished like high school in 2020 December, and then I still stayed in Singapore for a while to like work part-time as a math teacher. So for like 5 months, and then after that I had to go back because I was like, okay, I'm not gonna go uni here. So yeah, I went back home to think. Like initially I was planning to continue uni in Indonesia, but then I had to take the local exam next year. So I had to like study again because what I learned in Singapore and what I'm gonna take in Indonesia might be different, like the exam and
like
everything.
the national exam?
Yeah, the national exam.
Okay. And then suddenly Germany happened.
Yeah.
How did that happen?
Yeah, so initially I was like planning to just study in Indonesia, but then I talked with my parents and my friends and everything. But then my parents brought up the fact that I think Germany was free because I think one of their friends went to Germany for university. So they were like, oh, maybe you can talk to him. So they introduced me with their friend who went to Germany, and we just talked. And just because like it's free tuition, so I'm like, okay, maybe it's possible. So I just started researching from there. And it so happened that their application period were still open for that year. So if I'm studying in Indonesia, I have to wait another year.
Because of you
Like,
finish in December.
Yeah, exactly. And even
We start
with-
in August.
Yes. And I was like, might as well try because I'm already like late because I went to Singapore, so I'm already like 1.5 years behind from my peers. So back then I was already like a bit anxious. I'm like, oh, what if I extend 1 more year to stay in Indonesia for gap year? I'm gonna be like super old, blah blah blah.
Super old
in
when you
uni,
get
I
to
cannot survive, blah blah blah. So yeah, so I just applied to Germany then, and also because they have like English programs. Because back then I never planned to come to Germany, so I don't know the language at all. So I was just trying to find like English programs, and I happened to find one.
What are you taking then? What were you searching for? Management, business, or?
Yeah, this is also another problem because back then I didn't know what I want to study in university. I was this like kid who's very indecisive. I'm still indecisive now. So I was thinking like of taking business because it's the most like general.
Like you can
Yeah.
go anywhere after
Exactly. It's like, let's say I change my mind and I want to study something else. I feel like it's safe to have like a business degree, business or management. So I was mainly focusing on those like degree programs when I'm trying to find stuff. Yeah.
that. So how was the application? Because you said German universities was free. Was it really all free? Did you not have to pay anything?
So like the tuition is free, but they have this thing called semester contribution. Right? I think that's what it's called. Yeah, semester contribution is like for just administrative issues, I think. Yeah, and from my university, it was like 72 euros. And that's already like really cheap even compared
It's
to other
very cheap.
German like universities. Because I think that's like 1 juta rupiah or something.
Yeah,
And even
per
like,
semester.
so it's actually still cheaper than Indonesian universities, you know, if
Yeah.
you really compare it.
But then to go to Germany, you need like this whole blocked account,
Yes.
visas.
Yes,
How
yes.
was the whole process?
So that was also one of my concerns because we had to deposit, right? Yeah, a blocked
Deposit.
account. Basically, to study in Germany, you have to have a blocked account of, I think back then it was like 10,000 euros, around like that, because like the government want to make sure that we won't.
You can live for a year
Yeah.
and not like do illegal things.
Exactly. So they want us to pay immediately like 10,000, and then each month they're gonna pay us because they just want to make sure we live like safe and everything. So that initially I also didn't want to go because of that. I had a talk with my parents, and I'm very thankful that they were supportive of it. And like they also told me that yeah, but even the past of your 5 years of education, it was also free. Like you have helped us also in a sense like to save up. So my parents helped to pay for the deposit, and then I flew to Germany.
And then you flew to Germany during COVID then?
Yeah, no, so actually my first semester was online because it was COVID, and the visa issues were, it was so
visa
difficult.
was so hard during COVID.
Yeah, I had like 6 months of waiting period or something, but basically my first semester was online. My second semester, part of it was online, but I had to be there for my exams. So I managed to come in 2022, which is like the end of my second semester.
So your first year was online from Indonesia,
From
and then you just
Indonesia.
did online classes.
Yeah, so I had classes in like 12 a.m. or something because of the time difference. I like,
Oh, shoot,
yeah,
that-
and I'm just like,
Must have been hard.
yeah, yeah, and it was
difference,
winter, so it was more with the
Six hours.
Yeah, I think something like that. Yeah, so
Oof.
fun times.
Okay, and then you flew to Germany in
Yes.
the third semester.
Yes.
So was that, how was your impression of campus life?
Yeah, and it was so different because Bandung, like in Indonesia, is generally also a big city-ish. Singapore is also like a big city. It's like a, busy hustle, like those kind of stuff. And Deckendorf is like a village, literally a door, a village. I didn't expect to love it that much, but the life itself, I was like, this is the chill life I needed. I didn't know I needed. And I
You
feel
needed
like,
a break from all the hustle the last
exactly.
years.
And I didn't even know I needed that. Like I didn't know that I was burnt out from all the studying and everything, because like if I really reflect, I remember when I was in high school in Singapore and I called my mom, and every time we talk, like I always talk about like, it's so sad here that I see people like so competitive and like working all the time, but it feels like they don't even know what they're working towards. And disclaimer, this is not everyone, guys. I'm not like generalizing all people there, but that's just my environment back then.
Yeah.
So initially I didn't even want to continue in Singapore, but because I'm already in that track, I was like, that was the easier for me. And my mom was like, actually it worked out the best in the end. And I came to a small village where I can really like chill. I think it was just like how do I say? It's like healing from all the burnt out that I faced throughout all the studying period. So like our university is right by the river.
Oh, nature.
So like every time I walk to school, like I either walk or like use my bicycle. I don't even use buses there because it was like we have buses.
It's so small, you
Yeah.
don't need buses.
Exactly. I either walk or use my bicycle. Every time we hang out, it's like, oh, let's go and have a picnic. Like, in Indonesia or Singapore, like, oh, let's go to a
Hang out
mall
at
or
a mall.
something.
Yeah.
And he was like, let's go to the river. And initially, I was so shocked that was like our go-to hangout plan. But I really loved it in terms of like the environment.
So it's very chill in terms of lifestyle, but was the studying also chill?
Like, I think because if I really compare to Asia, it's obviously more chill.
Yeah.
So even though it was university, I felt like my high school was way more like tough in terms of academics.
Senggol bacok.
Yeah, actually, it was like really rigorous, I feel. So in terms of, like, I'm not saying I do well anyways. I still struggle with the exams, but I feel like the intensity, my high school was still way more intense, I think, because it was like Singapore in general. And what I noticed is that how people are really supporting each other, like openly. Like, for example, if I asked for notes, I remember I couldn't come for a class and I texted someone about notes and I was like, really, I'm sorry if it troubles you. If you don't want to send your notes, it's okay. Like, because like sometimes in Asia, again, not everyone, like they feel like, oh, I make this notes. Like I worked hard for it. Why am I sharing with
Like you're my competitor.
Yeah,
kind of.
exactly, kind of thing. And they were like, no. And then she sent me even more, like 5 chapters or whatever. And I was like, wow. And like sometimes she even offered like, oh yeah, we can study together. I will teach you this. And I'm like, thank you. Like they were really like, they want everyone to study together. So I think that really shocked me. And I was like, oh, I love this kind of studying environment. It makes studying like way easier.
Germans are
Exactly.
really nice in that sense.
Yeah, they just help and they want everyone to kind of do well together.
So what about campus life? Like, do you have extracurricular activities or?
Yeah, so in Germany, it's more of like, we have student clubs, I guess, or like organizations, but it's not as like active or like you don't have to be so committed to it. Like for example, like if it's sports, it's like every week, but you can just come or not come, you know? In Singapore, even in high school, because I was part of like 3 student clubs, I think, and I have to come every week, let's say, to practice, except for like if I have something going on or blah, blah, blah. But usually I have to come every week. We have concert, let's say, or like we have competition, like those kind of thing. In here, it's more of like interest groups. And because of that, I could join, like I can try different things. Let's say on Monday, I try badminton. On Tuesday, I try swimming or something. And then I try a new sport called Tchoukbal. But that's another...
Tchoukbal?
Yeah.
Sweet.
Like TCHOUKBALL. Tchoukbal.
That sounds like a Korean
I know.
Tchoukbal.
And I was like, when I saw that and this, I was like, what is this? Join. And then like,
What is this, join?
Yeah. And I think what's funny is that professors could also join. Yeah, because it's like
Oh, that's interesting.
also like staff. Is it not like that for your uni? Or that is a German thing. I didn't know.
I took part-time, so
so
nobody
it's-
really joined anything. There
Right.
weren't really organizations.
Yeah. It's like, I feel like it's everyone could join, even the staff or the professors. So sometimes I play sports with like some of the professors or something if they want to join.
Did you also part-time? Is that like considered a job or is it just a fun club?
No, that was just a fun club. I also had part-time when I was in Germany. So I tried a lot of different things because like I also, after the deposit ends, obviously I wanted to like also self-fund myself. Like I don't want to bother my parents too much, you know? I tried different things. I think I tried restaurant work. I also work in Edeka in the sushi section.
Oh,
In the
so not
sushi booth?
in the cashier.
No, in the sushi booth. I make sushi and like, okay, not the fancy ones, just the simple ones. Yeah, like, and then I also worked in my university, which is also how we met. And there's this thing called student ambassador. Basically, they help like reply emails to prospective students. And for me specifically, because I'm from Indonesia, I helped them like research into the Indonesian market and also how I got to know her. You know, I'm like Indonesian and like, you know, German, like studied in Germany and blah, blah, blah. So,
Were there also student aids?
yeah, so I think that's what I didn't know as well coming to Germany. Because for me, the living cost is obviously still expensive. And what I didn't expect is that my university does offer aids for international students as well. And it's quite generous in a sense that I could get more than once. Because usually it's like a one-time payment. So it's not like a monthly thing. Like I think I applied in my second semester or something when I was in Germany, like physically. I applied and I got it. Like they really want to help in a sense. Like I feel like maybe the scholarship office, they've probably received my application so many times. They know this girl again, like asking for money, but like they do help. Like, so for now, like I got 3. So 2 are like one-time payment. And then 1 is like monthly, but it's like not like a big amount of money, but it's still like monthly. The first 2 was like one-time payment. And then the third one is like monthly payment. And then now I'm doing my exchange semester. They also give scholarship for that. So they have another scholarship for exchange semester. My university in Germany is like very international and they really want to like, you know, they want to really help like all the international students. So that's also why with exchange and everything, they're like really supportive, you know.
So is the exchange mandatory or voluntary, or is there an internship, or how is it?
Like, so for me, it's actually compulsory to do an exchange semester because my study is like international management. So that's like
So like go international.
It's like, that's the international part of it. You know, you have to have international
experience.
So I have to do an exchange semester. And we also have like compulsory internship. You can do it like either in Germany or abroad. And I think most courses from my university, they have compulsory internship. I don't know if it's a German thing.
Mine was also compulsory.
Yeah, so I think I liked that as well because I was like, oh, I'm forced to try
practical things.
Yeah, I'm forced to go into a company and work, you know, so I can really feel how's the, you know, industry.
Real life.
Yeah, real life. I'm like adult life that I'm gonna face. Yeah.
So you're here for the compulsory exchange semester.
Exchange semester.
So here, how are your classes in Korea? Which university are you going to?
I'm studying in Konkuk University because it's mandatory.
Compulsory.
Because it's compulsory to do an exchange semester. I had like a credits requirement. I have to take 30 ECTS, which is actually quite a lot. Like I had to take like 6 courses here in Korea. And because I didn't know that attendance here is kind of compulsory. Like they actually really count your attendance.
Yeah, in Korea. In Germany, it's not, right? They only care about your exams.
Exactly. Like, and it's only one last exam. So sometimes I don't come to class in Germany if I don't feel like it, you know? But in here, because it matters, and like it helps. Like if I just attend classes, I already get like 10% of my grade or something, which is good. But because of that, it was also like a lot of classes for me because it was like 6 classes with the schedule, like morning classes and everything. So yeah.
How long have you been in Korea?
I came in February, like end of February.
Almost 6 months?
Ish, yeah.
And you were very busy that one semester.
Yeah, I thought exchange semester is supposed to be like, oh, fun. And I'm like, oh, I have to study, I forgot. And like, for me, I need the grades. Like a lot of exchange students come with a pass and fail. So basically they don't get the grade. You get either pass or fail. So then they don't have to try as hard, you know, because they just need to pass.
You just need to pass.
For me, they have to convert it numerically because it's like a compulsory exchange semester. So I cannot just pass if I want to do well, you know, and still get money, right? Obviously. So
how has student life in Korea been different than student life in Germany?
I think coming back to Korea is the Asian culture again. I'm like, oh, I forgot, like people are actually studying. I mean, okay, in Germany people study too, but they also like, they're more chill.
Have a life.
Like they have a life and they have fun. And like in here, yeah, again, I'm like, oh, I'm back in Asia. Like for example, we have study rooms in the university, right? So it's like literally just tables, you know, like, and then with the box, you know? Okay, not like covered, but you know the...
like the office.
Yeah, the office booth. And the good ones are the one that has chargers and everything. It's always full. Like sometimes I came there with my roommate and we just go home because it was full. I think 3 or 2 of the rooms are open 24/7 during exam period. So literally people were there at like 1 a.m. until 5 a.m. or something. And the other rooms were open at 5 a.m. And I was like, wow.
Did you also study that much?
I studied there for like 1 day or 2 days. It's always like full and I'm like, oh, I guess I cannot study. Time to go home now, you know? But there's one day I was like I need to study. It was like the day before the exam, and I have like 3 exams on that day, and I haven't started.
How do you have 3 exams on one day?
Exactly. My class schedule sucks. Like, so I was really like determined. I was like, I'm gonna study. So actually, like, I want to wake up at 5 and go there at 5 because it opens at 5, right? The other rooms. I'm like, I'm gonna do that. I ended up going there at like 6:30, which is still a big achievement, okay?
Yeah.
So I was there at 6:30. I couldn't really focus, but I tried to study there. So yeah, I used it, and I was like, wow, I feel so, you know, I feel so academic. I'm like, oh, I'm studying with this smart people with my booth, and like, oh. And coming there, it's like people are literally just in their studying outfit, like pajamas and like slippers, and they have their coffees ready, and like.
My friend said it's a public living room.
It is actually.
Brushing their teeth?
Yeah, yes, brushing their, oh my God, yes, brushing their teeth. It's like, that's accurate description.
So far, what are some highlights or like favorite moments of this whole studying journey that you had? Like if you had to choose like your favorite period of time or like favorite experience, like when you first came to Germany and everything was chill, or when you came to Korea and it's bustling again, or you like the classmates, or like a highlight.
Yeah. I feel like in general, I think usually the highlight for me is actually like meeting people, like new people, because I'm thankful for this experience. I get to go like different countries, so I meet people from different parts of the world, which I would have never imagined doing that back then. So I was like, oh my God, you're from this country. That's so interesting. So I feel like that in general is my highlight of my study period. So like to get to know people. But I think I like when things are active. So like in Germany, it was nice when it was like chill. But I think now I enjoy Korea because like I have classes, but I can like join student clubs, you know? Like I joined tennis, and I could do like voluntary internship in the office. Basically, I like it when there are different things because I get bored really easily, and I don't like it when school is just school, like which is studying. So I think this is like a good period for me now to like study and also have some fun parts of my life.
What about the biggest challenge or struggle that you've had studying abroad all these years?
Definitely funding. Like,
oh,
yeah.
Not homesickness or anything?
Oh, oops, sorry, mom and dad and siblings.
I don't miss you guys.
Sorry. It's like, I think maybe for homesickness, maybe I'm used to it again. I started studying abroad in
really young.
Yeah, like 14. And I think back then I was like, yeah, I guess by now I'm already like, I know how to deal with this kind of thing. But for me, it was like for Singapore, I didn't have to think of finances, but I think after like when I was in Germany and Korea, I'm really like money, like well, like because I really don't want to bother my parents. I have other siblings as well. Like I don't want to, you know. It was also tough for me in Germany to find work initially, like part-time jobs, because I don't speak German fluently. Like I only have no basic German. Like in big cities, I think it's easier to find jobs that are like English related. But I was like in a small town, and if I want to do part-time like restaurant or something, obviously I need to know like
speak
basic German. And also I'm in like Bayern, so they speak Bayerisch. It's like
a dialect. It's not German almost.
And some Germans, like most Germans don't even understand Bayerisch as well. So how do you expect me to understand that, you know? Like I really tried different things, you know, like restaurant, schoolwork. But I feel like just trying to juggle that. And again, when I have this part-time jobs, how to like manage my time at school. Because I'm so bad at time management.
You're also active in extracurricular activities.
Yeah, because I don't want to just study. Yeah, so like, because I want everything, but I'm bad at managing everything. It's like, I want to join this and that, but I also want to work so I can have money, but then I also want this and that. Yeah, so I think it's just managing all that and yeah, trying to think now of like how to, yeah, just fund myself in general.
Wow. That sounds really hard.
It's okay. I'm good, guys.
Do you have any future plans?
Oh, that's a difficult question. For now, my future is like just the next semester first. I'm trying to figure out. As I said, I'm trying to extend one more semester. But
you
again,
like it here?
Yeah, because
I'm here.
Yes, 100%, 100%. Yeah, like I really want to stay, but again, even now, I'm still waiting for another scholarship confirmation for the next semester.
For the student aid in Korea?
Yeah, like because again, it's expensive, obviously, to do an exchange semester. So I'm also like emailing my international office. I'm like, hi, do you want to give me more money? Because I'm staying another semester, so I'm waiting for that. So that's the future that I could go to like as far. And then after that, I had to do an internship. I can do the internship in Korea in my university, or I can also do it in company. So I'm like thinking which one.
So do you have any advice or remarks for people who want to go abroad but are also concerned about funding?
don't give up, guys.
It's possible.
Because even back then, I really thought it was impossible. I think I applied to a lot of different jobs. I even applied for like Amazon, you know, like packing boxes and stuff, restaurant, like everything. Sometimes I just come to the restaurant to like ask, oh, do you have jobs? You know, or like I ask, oh, like ask your other international friends. I think that helps a lot because usually when you're abroad, find that international community because then you have those information, you know, like,
true,
oh,
that's true.
how to get part-time job and everything. And just be wise about your finances. And I feel like sometimes if you really have to be like realistic, you have to be able to sacrifice what you have. Like for example, now I'm choosing to live in a way cheaper place. Obviously it's like I live in Goshawan now. Like obviously it's like for
Not
some people,
really comfortable.
yeah, like not comfortable. Like I have a shared bathroom with people and maybe some people don't want to give up that comfort. But for now, my priority is other things. But yeah, I think like just keep trying and like know that there are actually always different ways to do things and don't get discouraged just when you don't get the job or something or you feel like, oh, there's no scholarship. Because for me also how it all started is that I was rejected from the scholarship, you know. A lot of people were like, because I think it's a taboo when you study abroad and then you come back home and people were like, oh, so you're not successful abroad, you know. So it was like a bit taboo, but just chill, like, oh, okay, like don't listen to them and just time to open and do another research.
And there are better plans coming up that
Exactly.
you never imagined. And one more thing, do you think grades are important?
It's important for yourself. It kind of shows how much or you have studied or how hard you've worked. So for me personally, I like to just keep that as an indication to myself. It's like, let's say I get a good grade, so I'm like, okay, I worked hard for it, but I think it's really not good to attach that as your identity. And like, I think it's more of like, for myself, it's like, okay, I want to get good grades because I want to prove to myself that I can work hard, that I can be disciplined.
But it shouldn't define you.
It should not define you, guys. It should not.
But it's good to have a goal.
Yes, it's good to have a goal. To just like, okay, I want to move to that point of my life and stuff.
Thank you so much for sharing.
Thank you.
I hope you guys got a lot from that. So if you have similar dreams wanting to go abroad, house funding, scholarships, if there's a will, there's a way.
Yes, there's a will, there's a way.
Yes. So
and by God's grace, guys.
by God's grace. So that's it for today's dive through and we'll see you in the next video. Bye!
Bye, thank you.